What's going on YouTube? Daniel back here for another video. As you can see, I am very sweaty, and if you can see in the background, I am actually not in Canada. I am still in Playa del Carmen. I haven't been able to make too many videos, which I'm actually pretty upset about. Just kind of been caught up with excursions, doing stuff with friends. But essentially, I want to touch base. This is my last day here. I leave later in the afternoon, and essentially want to make a video about the topic of vacations. So, if you don't know me, my name is Daniel. For the past 8 years, I've been able to live drug free from psoriasis using just food and things I've learned. And I share that with you guys and also people that I work with. So, yeah, it's currently right now 6 a.m. Cancun time. Right now, I'm in Playa del Carmen. So, it's 7 a.m. Eastern time in Canada. But essentially, the topic of the video, like I said, is vacations and something that I've changed my mind about in terms of how vacation should actually be spent. So basically, if you look in most of society, they always kind of promote vacations as a way to kind of just like release, kind of just let things go. So, you're at your home base wherever you're living currently, and you're working, trying to build things up for yourself, and then you go on vacation, and basically the goal of it is just kind of just let things go, let your habits go, stop going to the gym, stop eating right, start doing maybe drugs or drinking. And essentially that's actually the complete opposite of what you should be doing. And especially if you're trying to heal your skin, um, or just heal anything in general, vacations, I've come to realize, are just a change of environment. You're still experimenting. I think that's basically the goal of it, is a place to experiment, not to let things go in terms of the habits you built. Habits being, exercising, making sure you're moving, getting your autophagy going, and also cleansing. Cleansing is a bit tough on vacations, I would say, unless you know somebody where you're going, like a family member. For me, for instance, I have family luckily here, so I can kind of ask around and know the best ways to cleanse, things like salt flushes, enemas. I was going to bring my enema kit, but I didn't. I just think that would kind of be a little weird. Salt flush, I'll definitely do when I'm back, and then probably do like a 2 week heavy cleanse. But essentially, point is, when you are on vacations, it's about keeping your current routine and experimenting, adding different things. Like for me, for instance, I'm looking to add fruits back into my diet. So right now I'm currently on carnivore. I made a video about this on the channel. You can check it out. But I've been on carnivore for on and off probably like almost 2 years now. And essentially what I've come to realize is that I do want to add carbs back in, just because for me and my routine, I've found that I just need the extra energy, and carbs help with that. And it's basically having a food that you want to try, especially when you're on vacation. So you have your current diet. You should be following current diet. If you're not, you can go to my channel. I talk about various diets, but there's about like 3 that I would follow, and then from there you have to start basically testing and seeing which works for you. So if you're on vacation, obviously it's harder to cook your meals, something I recommend. But when you're out, being able to maybe experiment to add different foods, that's a time you can do that. It's you can still be rigid with things, I would say, but not too rigid to the point where you're kind of still living back at home even though you're on vacation. But it's about like having a food list, trying it out, and seeing 1 or 2 foods that you're okay with eating. For me, for instance, like I said, fruit is one thing, but for you it could be something else, like grains or vegetables, wherever you're at with things. And also the biggest thing I've noticed as well is obviously you're going to vacation for a different climate, and that's where you can experiment things with the sun. So for me, I've just realized the sun is huge for anybody, actually. If you realize, like, whenever your people are getting sick, it's because of lack of sun, especially like up north, Canada, for instance, winter. Everyone is just inside, and not getting enough sun, not getting enough vitamin D, because there isn't enough vitamin D. The sun is diminished. So that's where things start to go wrong. So experimenting things about how much sun you want to be getting. Obviously can't be in the sun all day. I've realized that with myself. Like, you're basically you start getting just dehydrated, low energy. Being in the sun, I say more than like 3 or 4 hours, you just start to get like lethargic, which isn't good, and then things go into like heat stroke, stuff like that. So obviously you can't be there forever. But for one thing I would suggest is not putting on sunscreen or using glasses. That's just the best way to absorb the most sun. People, society, they always try to scare you in terms of being able to or not use the sun or like be scared of the sun, so they can keep you sick and basically feed you pills and medication. So that's the second thing to be experimenting, like climate. Um, and then number one, foods you're eating. And then third is just experimenting, just lifestyle changes. So for me, for instance, um, when I was in Canada, I was, I don't tend to go out anymore. Before I had a phase of, going out like every weekend. I was drinking occasionally, drug consumption, stuff like that. But now I've cut that out completely. And there was one thing in my conscience that was telling me that, maybe I was missing something in terms of going out. So things like clubs, I guess you could say, no drinking or any, drug use, of course. That's something I'm over. I don't need that. But, just always had this gnawing feeling of like, maybe I still want to go out and try different things. And that's something I experimented and did. And essentially I was able to see that something I didn't want to do long term. So that's one thing I would suggest too, is experimenting and seeing what's on your conscience you want to try. Maybe a lifestyle change of, who knows, it could be um, yeah, just something different they want to try. It's hard to kind of say. Like for me, like that was one thing in terms of like my routine, just changing that up and seeing if something I want to do long term. But for you, it could be something completely different. Maybe the way you cook, or the way you just prepare things in your life, and that's going to basically help you to see if that's something you want to experiment and do long term. So the point is, vacations are not a place to let go of all the work you're doing when you're home. Like I said, the three main are exercising, cleansing, and moving. Sorry, well, nutrition, exercising, which goes with movement, and then cleansing. So not letting things go in terms of just like being lazy, being sedentary, throwing your diet away, and just eating shit food. That's very easy to do on vacation. And then cleansing. There's different ways to cleanse. You can do fast when you're on vacation. That's one thing I recommend. Maybe just like a 1 day fast that won't kill you, and you're actually able to enjoy that fast because you don't have any, you could say, work you're doing, or you're able to kind of have more time to yourself. So that's one thing I would try out. And then, um, yeah, basically the ability to just experiments is the thing that is going to help you the most. So having things in mind that as you're doing your things you want to try out, so I would say lifestyle number one, food you want to try, and then things with climate or environment. So those are the three things that you have to be looking for on vacation. Stop falling into the trap of like, vacation, throw everything away. That's not the way to do things, and you're basically just be playing catch up when you're back, and that's not something you should be doing. So it's a way to change your environment, way to experiment, and a way to see how to approach things differently, give you a fresh perspective. Also, you get a cultural change as well, cultural shock. Sometimes I've learned a few things on this vacation I've been taking back with me. There's the people I've met, things I've seen, and it's just just basically very grateful to be able to experience that, especially in Mexico. I had I guess you could say, a weird kind of perspective or expectation coming into it. And I guess I thought I was going to see things a bit differently, but definitely see my expectations. And if you haven't been to Mexico, definitely try checking it out. Place like Playa del Carmen. Didn't go to Tulum, which I'm, not upset about, but would have been nice to see. But there's different places, Mexico City, Monterrey, things like that. So yeah, it's at the end of the video. I hope this helped you. Like I said, vacations, start treating them as a way to experiment and not a way to throw things away in terms of what you're doing. If you do currently have any kind of skin disorders, I do help people with that on my Facebook group. So that's going to be free. I'll put the link in the description. You can also follow me on Instagram. I don't post there as much. I'm trying to focus more on Facebook, but you can message me there and we can have a chat and see where you're at with things. But yeah, I hope this video helped you to just kind of see a different way of using vacations to your advantage, as opposed to, basically throwing everything away that you're working towards right now. So hope this video helped. Hope to see you in the next one. Please like and subscribe if you do like the comments, and also the content. And also comment below basically what you use vacations for. You've seen places you travel that's helped you heal. Healing is all done through nature, I realize. So there's different places that work best for you, and sometimes it's a place for you to see if you want to live there long term. But anyways, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one, and in the meantime, keep killing it.